Welcome to Outta Class, for all those lessons you didn't learn in school. Your overall health, fitness and well-being starts with the right mindset and having those meaningful conversations. This is your host, Grant Roberts. Let's get into it.
I'll teach you a lesson now.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Outta Class Podcast. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. If you listened to it, my first guest back after having that 3-year break. Got my guest on, Reese. I hope you found the conversation valuable. I certainly think he dropped some really good gems in there, and it was a really relatable podcast and conversation for those that could be young parents or first-time parents or just busy in general, juggling career, life, family. I really hope you got something out of it. I certainly did. It definitely helped me look at things from a different perspective. More guests to come for sure, but I really hope you enjoy that. This week's episode, we are covering what it takes to live a healthy lifestyle. I think there's an assumption out there that in order to practice healthy habits and live a healthy lifestyle, you have to sacrifice everything that is fun. You have to sacrifice everything that you want to do versus things you have to do to get the results. I think a lot of the time exercise, eating healthy is looked at more of a chore these days, looked at as something that is almost abnormal, which is quite concerning. So this week's episode, I really wanted to give you 5 main points or 5 ways you can actually incorporate healthy habits into your everyday lifestyle. The things that you already do, you probably don't realize how easy it is to change a few small habits and incorporate some new small habits into your already busy lifestyle to make yourself healthier, to give yourself a better quality of life. At the end of the day, that is what message I want to get across for people and want to help people with, is making their lives happier and healthier. So I'm hoping with these points that I cover and this discussion that I have, this conversation that I have with myself, but technically with you, that you get something out of it. I'm probably going to add some more graphics and a bit more editing into these podcasts going forward. I might even trial it on this one. You might see some graphics and different things come up just to make it more engaging if you are watching it, because I understand it can get quite boring. It might be like you feel like you're back in school listening to a teacher talk about things you're not that interested in, or maybe my voice is annoying, I don't know. But if you are a return listener, I'm guessing that's not the case and you are getting something out of it, so I appreciate that. Without further ado, let's get into it. First habit that you can incorporate, and I know this is relatable to 99% of people these days, and that is watching Netflix or watching your favorite TV shows, even scrolling on YouTube or social media. What can you do to incorporate a healthy habit with that? Simple. Get on a treadmill and do it. Go for a walk and do it. It might be as safe to walk outside staring at a screen, but if you do have access to a treadmill, even if it's going to the gym with an iPad, if you have to, a lot of the gym treadmills these days have screens where you can connect your phone and watch Netflix or watch YouTube, all these types of things. You really don't have any reason to be sitting on your ass these days watching Netflix, watching TV, watching marathons of YouTube, and not, you don't have an excuse not to move your body at the same time. Yes, you should be able to relax at times at the end of a big day and sit back and watch something and chill on the couch. Of course, I'm not saying that, but we waste so much time. We already sit so much as it is, that this simple habit change can literally change your whole life. Walking is one of the most underrated activities there is out there. Low impact, so beneficial for you, especially if you're getting outside, soaking up vitamin D, getting fresh air, listening to the birds, walking through the trees. There's just unlimited benefits to walking in general, and everybody, almost everybody, can do it. Even people in a wheelchair can get outside and have a manual wheelchair and work their arms and get their heart rate up. Like, literally, there's limited excuses for why you shouldn't be walking more throughout the day, especially if you have a treadmill at home and at the moment you're using it as a clothes dryer or a clothes hanger. Get the clothes off it, plug it in, put on your favorite YouTube series or your favorite Netflix show, and get some steps up. You'll be amazed by how quick a half an hour to an hour goes if you're invested in a show and you're not even thinking about the fact that you are walking. It doesn't even have to be walking, it can be riding on a stationary bike. Set it up in front of the TV. There's so many opportunities, or way more opportunities than we think, to be able to move our body more. It might be getting up early and catching up on some emails before you get into the office. This might sound a little bit crazy. I'm not looking at my emails before work and things, but it makes your day so much easier. For me, I'll get up sometimes, go for a walk, and I'll reply to all my emails before I even get to work. Get to work and I can concentrate on other things that need to be done, be more productive throughout the day. So multitasking in that way, a simple way to move more. I'm not going to go on and on and on with examples. I'm just going to try and make these points super clear, super realistic, and hopefully helpful for you. So that's number one. Walk and watch, I would say. Number one, walk and watch. You can write these down, take some notes, and try and incorporate these things into your life. And I guarantee you'll see the benefits if you stick to them for even just a few weeks. Number two, this is more nutritional. As you know, I'm probably more passionate about nutrition these days than I am exercise, even though they intertwine and work equally. Nutrition, for me, I have to throw some nutrition examples in here, also incorporating healthy habits. Food these days in abundance, pretty much attached to everything we do socially, everything we do emotionally. Food is around, whether that is good or bad. These days, majority of the time, very poor relationships with food, even myself at times, with different options and things that I do. It's very hard to make the right choice. So what can you do here? You can eat what you want to eat, but you should still be able to incorporate foods that you need. So balancing the need and want with your foods is a super helpful skill that you can incorporate into your life. What do I mean by that? Don't go and buy a whole family block of chocolate and take it home. Buy a snack sized chocolate bar, just a normal 1 serving size chocolate bar, and add a piece of fruit to that meal. That way you are eating something you need, also getting something you want. So you are incorporating two different things and not making it feel like you are depriving yourself of something that you want while still consuming something that is important, something you need, getting some fiber, getting some good sugars into your body, as well as the chocolate bar. Yes, you can go through the drive-through and get that burger that you want, but don't get an upsized combo. You don't need the chips, you don't need the full sugar drink. With that, just get the burger. That way you're not depriving yourself of what you want, still allowing that flexibility, still curbing the craving you might have, but you're not going overboard for no reason. Yes, I know most of these meals these days, with smart marketing and promotions and all these things, make it easier for you to overconsume calories, buy things you don't need and consume them just because they are there. And this will play into another point I want to make later on when it comes to excess calories. But just think about how flexible you actually can be. You don't need everything, but you can have a little bit of everything. You can have something. You don't need to have the whole meal. You don't need to have dessert after you've gone and had something that may sway out of your nutritional habits or your goals that you need. So a little bit of compromise and sacrifice, which I'm going to talk about later on. That's probably the main point. But number two, without going any more into depth, I hope you've got the point, is to eat what you need and what you want at the same time. Incorporate both, learn flexibility, and you'll feel better overall. How do you think you're going to feel in comparison if you took a whole block of chocolate home, ate it all, had no fruit for the day, you had no vegetables, no water, but you've had this block of chocolate, versus had a small snack, a nice sized chocolate bar for myself, rewarded myself, enjoyed that, and I had some fruit too. Think of the difference in your mindset having made that choice after you have incorporated this habit, this healthy habit, into your lifestyle and your eating routine. Think about that. So, number two, eat what you need and eat what you want at the same time. Number three, move and socialize. Oh, my social calendar's, I'd love to go to the gym. I'd love to go for a run, get out and walk more, but just so busy socializing. I got to go to this birthday party. I've got to catch up with my friends for some coffee, and I've got all these meetings. Do both. Do both of these things. Incorporate a healthy habit. Simple. Again, do you have a meeting with one of your staff members? Why can't you grab a coffee and go for a walk? Why can't, even if it's at your workplace, you can wander around the building and talk about what you need to talk about, take notes, even if you have to record it on your phone, whatever it may be. Grab a coffee and go for a walk together. There's no reason you can't be moving around, especially if you don't have to necessarily be locked in an office all day, which we shouldn't be anyway. I've got high opinions on that. You have your kids for the day. Oh, I can't. I've got to look after the kids. Take your kids out for a run. The reason you're arguing with your kids and they're restless is because they need to move more majority of the time. They need to get out and run around, go and play chase with them, go to the playground with them, go and shoot some hoops with them, play some basketball. Move around with your kids. Park a few blocks away from where you need to be with your kids and walk to where you're going to be. Incorporate play with your kids into your daily routine while looking after them. This could even be with your partner if you don't have kids. Do something together that encourages you to be active and doesn't feel like exercise. The NEAT rule, the non-exercise activity thermogenesis, so underrated, which basically means the energy you burn unintentionally is so underrated when it comes to overall calorie burn, creating a deficit for yourself if you want to be in a deficit and lose body fat. Just so underrated when it comes to overall movement throughout the day. Simple one there. Move and socialize. That is number three. So I'm getting through these pretty quick because I don't want this podcast to go on forever. I'm just going to try and keep them as simple, as straightforward as possible, and then I'll go back and go through each of the points for you just to make sure you've taken your notes if you need to, and try and incorporate these things into your life. Number four, a superpower when it comes to food, when it comes to managing cravings, when it comes to not wanting to feel like you're on a very restrictive diet, and that is simple food swaps for fat loss. Incorporating food swaps into your daily nutritional intake in order to stay on track with your goals. And I've got some statistics on this also. Here's a few easy ones. So simply swapping out your full sugar soda for a no sugar soda, saving yourself hundreds of calories a day. I'll give you some statistics on that in a minute. No sugar in your coffee or a sweetener in your coffee. I've got 2 sweeteners in this coffee that I'm drinking right now. Calories are 4 to 8 calories. If I put 2 teaspoons of sugar in here, or four teaspoons of sugar, get upwards of 50 to 100 calories just like that. So a simple swap for me gives me the peace of mind, still gives me that sweet fix, but I'm staying within my calorie needs. Super simple, and it's just like anything else. If you adopt these habits over time, they become normal. I know people say all the time, oh, it just doesn't taste the same, or it's nothing like a full sugar Coke. Okay, if you're going to have a full sugar Coke, don't have a 600ml bottle. Get the mini can, get the small can if you really think the taste is so important. Get a smaller serving size. That is another way you can incorporate food swaps. So it can be size, it can be simply swapping something with something else, another alternative, or skipping it altogether if you can. Another superpower is adding volume to your meals. Things like vegetables, throwing a heap of vegetables and salad into your meals. Prioritizing protein and fiber is going to keep you fuller for longer. This is all scientifically proven. Protein keeps you fuller for longer. Fiber is great for your function, getting your micronutrients, your vitamins and minerals into your body. Super important. They both keep you fuller for longer. Here's a quick piece of homework for you. Have a look at 300 grams of normal potato. Now, this isn't a rubbish potato either. Potato is a great option depending on how you cook it. Obviously, fried chips aren't the best, lathered in oil, but normal boiled potatoes, mashed potatoes, those sort of things, great carbohydrate source, great source, good nutrients. But look at that in comparison to 300 grams of pumpkin. So look at 300 grams of pumpkin, 300 grams of normal potato. Have a look at the serving sizes and also compare the calories. I'm not going to give you the answers for this, but Google it now and have a look at the difference of volume you can have just by simple food swaps or incorporating different vegetables and foods into your diet or your daily intake. Simple way to stay on track with your goals, not feel like, again, that you're depriving yourself of food and starving yourself throughout the day. You don't have to. You just have to incorporate the right things. You just have to make better choices or smarter choices and educate yourself on ways that you can stay on track. So that's number 4, simple food swaps. And on the flip side of that, if you're trying to gain weight, now I do have an emphasis on fat loss because that is the main, I guess, issue these days, the main health issue. Obesity has recently overtaken smoking as the biggest killer in Australian society, and I'm guessing many other countries. So I do focus a lot on fat loss, but on the flip side of that, as I was saying, if you are trying to gain weight, put on some muscle, or you need to add volume to your foods, simple food swaps can still be helpful and easy ways to increase your fat intake. So things like avocado, nuts, peanut butter, these sort of things, coconut. These type of foods are going to bump your calories up quite easy while also giving you the nutrients that you need. I wouldn't recommend living on salads and very lean proteins and things if you are trying to gain weight. Even whole eggs are a great example of an easy, higher calorie food. A simple way to swap an egg out. Take the yolk out, you got the white. Basically goes from an egg's usually about 70, 80 calories. If you take out the yolk, turns it to about 15, 16 calories, and you're getting all the protein out of the white, which is a good little hack there. But if you're trying to gain weight as well, add the egg in. Again, I'm not saying get rid of the yolks, they're bad for you. They're actually really good for you. I'm strictly talking about calories here, manipulating your calories in line with your goals. Me, I'll have a bit of both, same sort of thing. I incorporate both. I'll have a few eggs sometimes in an omelette, then a few egg whites. I'm hitting a high amount of protein and then calculating it into my calories. So I might have a 6 egg omelette, for example, but it's 2 whole eggs, 4 egg whites. Just simply dismissing some. It doesn't taste any different than having 6 whole eggs. I'm just eradicating a heap of calories straight away. Super easy way to do that. So there's easy ways to not deprive yourself of things. Now I want to go back to what I was talking about as far as food swaps go, and talking about sugar intake in soft drinks. So a 600 ml bottle of soft drink full sugar is usually about 250 to 265 calories, or about 2 cans a day might be 330 calories a day. And simply taking those calories out for a no sugar drink, which might be 3 calories, 4 calories. A good example would be here for this. I did a few calculations based on this and the amount of calories you save just by a simple swap like this. I always tell people, before I go into this point, I always tell people if you are trying to drop body fat, the worst mistake you can make is drinking your calories. So just drinking unregulated calories is going to bump your calories up so quick, and you're not going to be satisfied. You're not getting any nutrients, anything valuable in your diet. You're not ingesting anything that your body needs, and you're wasting calories. So any chance you get to not drink your calories, drink water, easiest way to do it, or simply make a swap like this. So someone, for example, drinking 1 regular sugary drink a day, a reasonable estimate is saving 150 to 260 calories per day. So if you're having a few drinks, 2 of those a day, for example, you're saving 1,000 calories to 1,800 calories per week just by swapping out those soft drinks. Think about what you could do at the end of the week if you weren't having that amount of calories. Look at your calories like a bank balance, is what I tell people. You could save those calories up and use them so much better. You could save those calories up for a whole pizza at the end of the week rather than just drinking a soft drink. You can bank those calories up and have them later on. It's just a simple swap you can make. And this isn't to rubbish full sugar drinks. I know people are going to be in the comments talking about, oh, but what about all the other preservatives and toxins in these drinks? The science is out there. I can send you hundreds of scientific research papers showing it is all about consumption, how much you drink. Obviously, too much of a good thing or too much of a bad thing isn't good for you. So obviously consumption is important when it comes to these things. Anyone can have a dangerous level of anything. You can die from drinking too much water. You literally can die from drinking too much water. You're not going to drink it because you're scared you're going to overconsume it. No, you drink it responsibly and you stay within the limit that you need to. Same with anything else. Everything in moderation is absolutely fine. Obviously, individually, we'll have different intolerances, different allergies, different things. We react different to different chemicals. Normal, find what works for you and stick to it. If it's a full sugar drink you need to have because you can't have a no sugar drink because of some ingredient in it, fine. Have a full sugar Coke or full sugar soft drink, like I said, but limit your serving sizes. Get a small mini can. You don't need that litre bottle. You don't need the 600ml bottle. Get your fix and move on. Went a bit long on that one, I guess. Probably. But number 4, simple food swaps. That is my rule. Number 4, my strategy for incorporating healthy habits. And number 5, this is more of a saying, more of a reminder, not even a strategy. And I'm going to give some examples here. I'm probably going to talk too much about this, but you need to incorporate a mindset and just accept that you're going to have to make compromises and you're going to have to make sacrifices. Nothing good comes without sacrificing something else or compromising something else and committing to what you need to do in order to achieve your goals. Now, I was just thinking about this the other day. I'm pretty obsessed with biochemistry at the moment just because of its relationship with our nutritional intake, how our body works, the reactions that happen within our body, all the complex mechanisms in our body reacting to what we feed it, what we feed our body, the food that we give it, the fuel that we give it, all the reactions that happen in the body. But not only that, if you look at the biology, the makeup of the body, and the things that it does unconsciously that we don't even think about, the majority of people don't think about. Unfortunately for me, I'm an obsessive person when it comes to these things, and I do think about the mechanisms in our body keeping us alive and the things that we do or our body are doing unintentionally, where the chemicals in our body, the molecules, all these little amino acids, the chemical reactions in our body. Water, for example, how important water is in our body. Our body is 60 to 70% water, or 70 to 80% made up of water. Now, if you think about how important water is if you actually look at what water does in our body, it's pretty much the life source. You've probably heard this, not to overcomplicate it, but think of this. So when you ingest something in your body, millions of different things have to happen in your body just to digest that food. So many different chemical reactions have to happen, so many automated systems in our body just to digest that food. Our body automatically regulates the salt intake. It breaks it down in our body. We use our organs for this reason. We use molecules. We use different chemicals in our body. Our pH levels have to be regulated in our body. Our salt, our sugar, our amino acids, all these different things have to be automatically regulated in our body in order for them to break down for us to be able to absorb what we need to and excrete or get rid of what we don't need, the toxins in these foods. Now, think about it this way. Think about if we were manually having to do that. Think about if we manually had to consume the food we had to consume, and then we manually had to be the driving force of putting the sugars over here or moving the salt over here and breaking these two molecules down together or these chemicals down together to create something else in order for us to digest it. It sounds complicated, doesn't it? So think about how much overtime your body is working when you just feed it shit all the time or you treat it like absolute garbage all the time. It's already complex and hard enough for our bodies to break down foods that we ingest, whether they're good or bad. So I guess what I'm saying is, why not do it a favor? Why not look after it a little bit more and make it easier on your body to digest foods and to help you live a healthy lifestyle, just achieving homeostasis in your body, which is just natural existence, staying alive, your metabolism, metabolizing your energy and your food, just doing that. It sounds like a simple concept, just being alive, but if you actually dial in, like I said, to all the mechanisms and chemicals and reactions in your body just to create a state of balance and homeostasis, then you probably appreciate your body a little bit more and maybe respect it a little bit more and look after it. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. After all that, I do things I shouldn't do with my body. I eat foods that I shouldn't eat at times, for sure. And it's probably a double-ended sword, or worse, knowing consciously when you're doing something like this. I understand there's majority of people out there have no idea about nutrition, no understanding of simple nutrition. This is why I'm going a little bit deeper on this and just trying to make you understand how important it is to do your body a favor. And this is the reason why a lot of people end up with diseases. As lifestyle choices done long term reflect the results later on. No wonder your body gets tired and breaks down over time. If you're forcing your body to work overtime and work so much harder just to have basic function, of course, one day it's just going to be like, you know what, I've worked so hard all this time and I give up. Fuck it, I've had enough. Fuck you, I'm out of here. That's pretty much what happens if you don't look after your body. Things break down, things don't regulate or work the way that they should be. They're not optimally getting fueled, so how can they optimally function? That is my message right there. And that I told you I'd go a little bit deep on this. But number 5, compromise and sacrifice. So this episode isn't going to go as long as the other ones, but I'm just going to quickly run through those 5 main points that I made, and I'm going to wrap this podcast up. I hope you take some notes and try and incorporate these things into your lifestyle. I guarantee if you do, you will benefit, not just now, but long term. If you stick to it for just a couple of weeks, you will see the benefits very quickly if you're not incorporating these things now. These are things that I do every single day, unconsciously. Just like my body is working unconsciously inside, I've built habits over time that these things I don't have to think about either. Like on the weekend, I've watched most of the FIFA World Cup games on the treadmill. I've had the game on. I'm going to be sitting there for 45 to 90 minutes anyway. Why don't I just jump on the treadmill and watch it? And then by the time the game's over, I'm tired anyway. I've done my exercise also. I've done enough activity for the day that I can watch another game and sit on the couch and have some snacks and enjoy myself. So it's that overall balance is what I just said before, incorporating healthy habits into our lifestyle. Number 1, walk and watch. Multitask these shows that you marathon and watch. It's not a bragging right to tell me how many shows you've watched. It's a bragging right to say I've watched all of these shows when I've been on the treadmill or on the bike, getting my steps up, getting my exercise done. That is a flex. That is a great way to incorporate these things into your lifestyle. Number 2, eat what you need and eat what you want also. Incorporate some of those foods, but ensure you're getting what you need also. Nutrient dense, high fiber, high protein foods also. Get those in to your diet, as well as incorporating some of those sometimes foods, some of those want foods. Easy way to do it so you're not depriving yourself. Number 3, move and socialize. Take your kids out, play with them, run around, schedule meetings, a coffee and a chat, go for a walk together and multitask these things also. It's so much more productive. You think so much clearer even when you are out in the fresh air or you're walking along, you're getting blood through your body, you're moving, you're more energized, you're going to think better also. Number 4, simple food swaps for fat loss. It's either swapping something out or eradicating something altogether and getting rid of it, or having a smaller serving size of something, or creating more volume by adding the right foods into your meals. That is number 4. Number 5, which I went through, probably too deep, compromise and sacrifice. Accept you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to commit to some form of compromise and sacrifice for the greater good. I think that's enough for today. I really hope you found this episode like the other episodes I have already covered. Go back and listen to them if you haven't, but I really hope you found it helpful. I'm going to wrap it up right here and I'll see you in the next episode. More special guests coming for sure. I've got a few lined up I've been talking with. Obviously the hardest thing with this is locking people in, booking out the time, getting it organized. We'll have such busy lives, but I probably will do a few via Zoom, things like that. Obviously it's not as good as when you're in person with people, but I will try and incorporate guests from all over the world, all over the place. I'll try and reincorporate them. If you haven't been back through my older episodes, my earlier episodes, there's definitely some overseas guests there that I guarantee you'll find some value from, even now, just timeless episodes, so go and check those out. But as I said, as I always say, I really hope you found this valuable. You got something out of it. If you did, make sure you like it, you share it, subscribe to my Spotify, my YouTube channel, share it, tag me in it. Don't be shy. Tag me in these episodes. I want to know that I'm helping you, and I want to help as many people as possible. So the more you share it, the more you actually motivate me and help me and inspire me to do more and more also. I don't want to get to a point where I feel like I'm not really helping anybody. This is a kind of a waste of time. I hope it doesn't get to that point. I mean, I'm doing it for many other reasons, to be honest, other than just recording these podcasts. There's higher reasons for me doing this, which I'll get into at a later stage. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, as always, thank you for listening. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed today's podcast and found it helpful, share it on your Instagram story, and don't forget to tag me at Grant Roberts PT.